Hi everyone, we are working on our budget series in our budget section of our notebook. Today we're going to be looking at sinking funds. Well, if you don't know what those are, stay with me and I'll tell you all about it. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today, I am working in my budget section of my notebook. I am going from my paper notebook, which you see here, to my digital notebook, which is in OneNote. And I wanted to take you along, and I thought there might be some of you out there who might not know what a sinking fund was. And so I thought the retired teacher in me, wanted to share that information with you. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, sinking funds. So grab a notepad. If you want to take some notes, grab yourself a beverage and join me while we learn about sinking funds. And if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. Please feel free to share it with anyone that you think might find this information useful. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Well, what is a sinking fund? Now, first of all, I have to say, I am a retired educator. I am not a financial planner. I am not an accountant, a bookkeeper. Money, dollar signs, numbers are not my thing at all, okay? But I do understand enough to keep my personal finances in order, and so I'm giving you a textbook description of what a sinking fund is. And it is, as you see on the screen here, a sinking fund is a structured savings strategy where you set aside a small, manageable amount of money over time for a specific future expense. Instead of paying for a large bill all at once, you divide the total into smaller, regular contributions so the cash is already saved when the expense comes due. Okay? When I first learned about sinking funds, I thought, that's a terrible name for that. I started calling them designated funds for myself because it is designated for a specific purpose. Well, now that you know the textbook definition, what does that actually mean? Let's take a look at an example. Let's say car insurance. Okay, if you are a driver in this country, you have to have car insurance. All right. I picked a random amount and said, okay, my car insurance is going to be due every 6 months, which it is. And let's say the monthly expense, just for easy math today, is every 6 months I have to pay $600 for my car insurance. Okay. So if you're using the sinking funds or designated funds, as I like to call them, idea, what you would do is you would take that $600 and you would divide it by the 6 months, because that's how often the bill is due, and that would give you the amount that you need to save every month so that when that $600 bill comes due, you have that money set aside. Okay? Now, there are some people who need very strong visual clues, and they will take an envelope and they will take $100 bill and they will stick it in that envelope and they will write on the front car insurance. Okay. So that when that bill comes due, they have those $600 in that envelope for car insurance. Some people like to set up an additional savings account and say, you know what, this is my car insurance savings account, and I will transfer money into there every month so that when that bill comes due, I have that money. You can do that as well. I am somebody who likes to keep it simple, so I keep a running list of all of my designated or sinking funds, and I know at the end of every month how much I need to set aside in my bill payment checking account so that when those bills come due, the money will already be there. Okay? All right. So I keep track of mine on paper or now digitally, and so I wanted to share that with you. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at, now that we understand what a sinking fund is, it's a big bill that comes due not every month, but like every 6 months, quarterly or yearly, and you break that down and save a little bit of money so that you have the money when that comes. Let's take a look now at some questions you need to ask yourself. What are your sinking funds? Because they're different for everybody. If you're not somebody who has a car, you're not going to have car insurance, right? If you are not somebody who has an Amazon account, you're not going to have Amazon Prime bill come due once a year. If you're not somebody who, maybe has a vacation home that they pay for on a biannually basis or whatever, you're not going to have that bill either, okay? So think about what your sinking funds are, those big bills that come due at a certain time during the year. How much are they when that bill comes in, and when are they due? Okay? And so to help me keep that information organized, I created a chart for myself. Of course, it's a table in OneNote. I know. I love my tables. But I call mine designated funds, again, because I want to know that that money is designated for a specific thing. I don't know exactly where the term sinking funds came from. If you know, please leave a comment to help educate all of us. To me, sinking means that's a bad thing, that your money's going away somewhere bad. But, that's just me. Anyway, I created a table, and you can see here in my table, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns going across, and I can add however many rows I need. I want to know what account I have, what the date is, when it's due, if there is a date, and then the total amount that is due, and how much that will break down for me to have to save monthly. Let's see, let's put that word in here to help. Save monthly. And then what is the interval, or what is the cycle of that bill? Okay, so let's go through an example and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you look down here at Adobe, I have Adobe. I need it for business, for graphics and all of that kind of thing. Adobe is a bill that I have that gets paid every month. Okay, I pay $10 every month to Adobe. Okay, and that is on a monthly cycle. Is that a sinking fund? No, that's not a sinking fund because it comes out every month. So this actually should not be listed up here as a sinking fund. So I'm going to strike through that. Is it a subscription that I have? Yes. Do I have to keep track of paying for it every month? Yes, I do, just like my electric bill and my water bill and those kinds of things. But it's not technically a sinking fund because it comes due every single month, okay? The next one that I have on here is Amazon Prime. I am a Prime member. My Prime was due in March, and my payment was $139, okay? That breaks down to, when you do $139 and you divide that by 12, right, that works out to approximately $12 a year, okay? So you could take that big number, $139, divide that by 12 in this case because it's due every year, and that's how you end up with how much money you need to set aside for that particular bill, okay? All right, now I know that 12 times 12 is 144, and I'm accounting for that the price is probably going to go up. I would rather save a little bit more and say, yay, I have money left, than to fall short, okay? So all I'm doing here is I am adding things like we talked about up above, my car insurance, okay? And let's say that is for my 2016 car, okay? I got a 10-year-old car, and I have insurance on it, and it is due in January and January, February, March, April, May, June. It is also due in June, okay? And it is $600 every time that bill comes. And so there, I'm not going to divide by 12, but I'm going to divide by 6, and that's going to give me approximately $100 every month that I need to, to save for, okay? And I could put down here, this is not yearly, it is 2 times a year, or you could say biannually, or you could say every 6 months. However you want to do it, it's your chart. You do it however you want, okay? But you make a whole list of everything that is due, okay? I am someone who also has to pay taxes. So I'm going to add down here my taxes. I have federal tax that I need to pay, and I have state tax that I need to pay, okay? And those are due in January, April, June, and September. Okay, so I have to pay those quarterly. Okay, so over here, I'm going to say those are due quarterly so I can keep track of that. Make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, and whatever my taxes happen to be, you know, when you estimate your tax, then you break that out. I don't know, let's say $2,000. I'm giving you just numbers here, okay? But instead of it being 12 months or 6 months, because I'm doing it every quarter, it's going to be divided by 3, okay? Because I'm doing it for every 3 months, 3, 6, 9, 12, okay? And then 2,000 divided by 3 is approximately $666.66. I'm not putting that on there. Let's go 670. Like that, okay? So that's how much I need to save each month to pay off those particular taxes, okay? All right, so you guys get the idea, right? You go through and you think of everything that you have to pay for throughout the year. Not necessarily that's on a monthly basis, but that comes at odd times during the year. You figure out how much that bill is. You divide it by the number of months between the payments, and that tells you how much you need to save. Okay, now let's say these were my only 3 that I needed to do. That would tell me that every month I would need to save $670 plus $100 is $770 plus 12 is $782. Okay, so I know in my head I need to set aside $782, and I will transfer that into my bill payment account, checking account, at the end of every month, so that I know that I have that money set aside for that when that bill comes due. Okay, again, if you want to do envelopes, that's fine. If you want to do separate accounts, that's fine. However you want to do it is fine, but you're just setting that money aside for future you so that you can pay off those bills when they come. Okay, now to help me keep track of all of this and when these bills are due, guess what I did? You're right, I made another table. Okay, let me show you that one. This table here, I've used these kind of tables a lot, but this table here is really 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. All right, and I'm going to go right over here and I'm going to recreate it. So I'm going to go up here to my insert menu, table 4 by, let's do 4 by 4 so it looks exactly the same. Okay. And at the top up here, I'm going to highlight these rows, and we're going to highlight those, do some color shading. So let's go to our table feature, color shading, and we'll pick a blue. Okay, so there's our blue, and we're going to do this one as well. This whole row, actually, let me do this whole row. And then what I'm going to do is, to get my title at the top, I'm going to click in the very first cell. I'm going to hit the enter button, and you see it bumps that cursor outside, so I can write designated funds, or if you're using the word sinking funds, which is the technical, accounting word for it, I believe. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put just the months, January, February, March, April, and then in blue down here, May, June, July, August. You get the idea, right? Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add. So for example, in January, my car insurance for the 2016 car is due. Okay, and next to that, I can also, if I want to, in this chart, I can say that the amount is $600, just so I have an idea of what's going to come due for that particular month, okay? Now, I'm somebody that in February, I don't have anything due, and that's okay. In March, I have my Amazon Prime, which is due, and the last bill was $148. See, I told you it would go up, and it probably will go up again, okay? So Amazon Prime is $148. And then I have, over here, I have my federal taxes due, and I have my state taxes due in April, okay? Now, I could make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it better. And let's adjust some of these. Okay, so I have room to put, you know, how much these things were, that kind of thing, however you want it to look, okay? All right, and so you can see I did that. I went through the whole rest of the thing. In June, I have my 2 other cars, my husband's car and my daughter's car are due at that time. Again, taxes, car insurance on that same one that was due in January is due in July, so I put that in there. But look at December. Look at all of the things that happen in December. This is not good for me. I have to save a lot throughout the year to get down here to December. December is Christmas. My home liability insurance is due that month. My 2 car insurances are due that month, and I have taxes due. That's a lot of money that goes out the door in December, okay? But you see, by having all of this written out, that helps me plan so that when December comes along, my head doesn't explode because I know that I already have this money set aside to be able to pay for these bills, okay? All right, so simple idea for sinking funds, simple way to track exactly what your sinking funds are, and actually going through this whole process might lead you to think, well, you know what? Maybe I don't need Amazon Prime. Maybe I don't need, you know, whatever other subscriptions you might find. Maybe that's a way that I can cut back and save some money, okay? So you can think about that as you're going through. Maybe you could say, you know, wow, $600 for car insurance. Maybe that's a lot. Maybe I need to start shopping for a better car insurance rate, or I need to talk to my agent about getting a discount for this or that, you know, good driver record or whatever it happens to be, okay? There's not much we can do about taxes. Everybody has to pay taxes, so that's going to be something that's non-negotiable. But keeping track of all of this stuff, when things are due, how much it is that you're paying for, all of that kind of thing, those are good ideas, and they really, really can help you live a more simplified life because you're not thinking about this every month. You're not being caught off guard by these bills popping up. You know that they're coming. You've already planned for it. And when I sit down and do my bills, I know there's a number that I have written down on my expense paperwork that I do that says transfer this much for sinking funds. Sinking funds are all of these things that are on this screen that I know that I have to pay for. Okay? All right. Well, again, I hope you found this helpful. If you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I talk about all kinds of things that I do in OneNote to help keep my life simplified. It really is my life management tool, and I really, really, really love it a lot. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them in the description box below. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote, which is free, by the way. Always a winner for me. Until next time. Okay, bye.